everybody, how are you today? So today I'm doing a short video on finishing off my other snow leopard eye. I thought I'd do it as a bit of a sort of how I draw step by step sort of thing, just for any of you who are interested. I think it's really interesting to see how other people draw, so yeah, let's go. So I've got all my pencils sharpened and ready to go. I try my best to sharpen them as much as possible, but really I need to invest in a good sharpener because I've heard that is, it makes a big difference, especially when you're creating all these little details, all these little strokes. So yes, got all my colours ready and I'm ready to go. So I've also got my reference photo up on the screen in front of me so I can see what I'm doing. So I just sort of start with, I say an outline, but it's just sort of like the light areas where I can mark down sort of where I'm gonna go with this. So just sort of starting with the outline of the eye. I'm constantly like looking up to my photo. And with this pastel matte paper that I'm using, it's amazing because I can go over this white colour with the dark colour, and you know, you can layer it and it doesn't really matter where you put a mark. So if you make a mistake or if you just want to cover something up, it's really easy to do, which is really nice. I haven't used a rubber like once while drawing this because I've just been layering the colours over the top of each other. Okay, so now I'm going to go with the black pencil and pop in the darks. I think we've got our shape here now, pretty much. So now I'm going to grab my grey pencil, and I've been using grey as a bit of like a base coat, so just sort of popping it down to lighten the paper. So I'm just going to pop that down on the iris, which is where I will layer my colour in a moment. I'm also going to pop it here, just where the fur is, and all around it really. Oh, I forgot to mention the pencils that I'm using. So I'm using Faber Castell Polychromos and also Derwent Artist pencils. So my Derwent Artist ones are the blue colour with that on the end, and then the Faber Castells are just the cut pencils. They work really nicely together. The Derwent are a bit more soft, so I sort of like to use this as base coats for colour and lightening things, and then the Polychromos for details. Putting the Derwent grey down, I find that it really blends the colour a bit, especially for the white. Putting down the white straight away looks a bit grainy because the paper's very textured. It has a lot of tooth to it, so by putting down the grey, I'm sort of giving it like a blending base, so it can sit a bit better. I'm still very new to the whole pencils thing, really. I only just got my Faber Castells about 2 or 3 months ago, and since before then I was using some very basic pencils, and I didn't really think about it too much. The thing is, I used graphite a lot more. I've only just really taken to coloured pencils. So yeah, like finding these were like a lifesaver for me because I was using crap pencils basically, and these are very, very good. However, I still haven't explored many different pencils. I would really love to try the Faber Castell pastel pit pencils. Pastel pencils would be cool to try. I imagine that they're very blendy. Do you guys have any favourite pencils or suggestions for me to try? Leave a comment with your faves. So I've taken my blue, and there's some blue in this eye, there's some green, and there's also some yellow. So the yellow sort of follows the outer iris, just like here, like so. And then the green is sort of like in the shadowed part. And then I have a grey pencil. This one's called Blue Grey. Oh, it's perfect. I'm just popping that in the shadowed area as well. Actually, this one isn't very dark, so I will use a bit of black actually, just pop in the shadow. If you don't press very hard, then black can work as like a dark grey, essentially. You can see sort of like the difference in levels of detail. There's no detail here yet, but that looks very detailed. We're not on that kind of level yet. Add a bit more around it just so I can work out the shape of it a bit better. It's funny because I actually had to borrow this white off of my friend. Luckily she lives across the road. Because my white has been spent. It's so tiny. Put colours down here. I'm using stroke motions like that, just so that it blends into the fur. Now that I've got my base down, it's thoroughly down now for the eye, I'm sort of adding in like squiggly sort of lines, I guess you could say. Like I'm using the pencil, I'm sort of like really tightly popping in some like texture to it. This eye on the left doesn't have as much reflection to it because it's actually on the shadowed side of the face, so this one has white, lots of white in the eye. This one doesn't have as much. Just a little dot here and there, and actually that doesn't exist, I made that up. A bit more yellowy colour. Actually, no, that's fine. I was thinking of adding another colour, but it's cool. I can make that colour myself. Because I'm magic like that. Now my white has sort of gone a little blunt, so I'm just going to sharpen this side. eye is there really. I will always add like bits here and there, like once I'm even, you know, I think I'm done with an area, I'll always return to it and be like, oh yeah, I need to add this, or this needs sorting. But I think we're about there with the eye. Oh goodness, my pencils just fell down the back of my desk. That's good, isn't it? I'm often dropping my pencils when I really get into it. I'm like, oh, and then I'm like, my pencils are everywhere. That's just a sign that I love what I do, you know? Okay, I think I'm kind of happy with this. So I'm just gonna fill in the rest of my fur here. The reason I've left it on the right hand side, I started in this corner because, well, I'm right-handed, so my hand leans on this side. So it's just easier to work that way. Start at the top of the ear and just work my way down and around so that I'm not leaning on it and smudging it. Yeah, so just this little bit of fur to go and then we are done. So much for watching, guys. I think I'm calling this about done. I'm gonna add some extra little finishing details like some whiskers and little highlights here and there, but yeah, we're pretty much done. I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial / time lapse, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!